Our final school featured today is the UND Greyhounds. They finished the 2023 campaign with a 9-2 record, winning its 9th league title with a 6-1 GLVC record. The Greyhounds have been picked to win the GLVC championship again this fall. Sixth-year head coach Chris Keevers will be back on the sidelines for UND and is joined today by junior cornerback Gavin Sukup and senior safety Michael Brown. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Coach, give us a few opening comments on the Greyhounds moving into this year.
You know, we've had a really good summer. We had over 70 guys stay and work their tails off. This morning was the last day of the workouts to get a week off before we go to camp. Like the football team, you know, we've got almost everybody back on offense. Defensively, we got three DBs that have started 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in some cases. 3 senior linebackers. You know, D-line is going to be a little question for us. We got Aaron Barnett was really good defensive end, but then we've got some transfers and things. We lost a couple kids in the portal, so that'll be our developmental side. But you know, as a whole, we've got a very good football team. We've got a bunch of good players that are workers and great people. And I would be lying not to say that we are extremely excited about this football team and can't wait to get started to work on August 10th.
Thank you, Coach. 8 of the 16 returning starters are from the offensive side of the ball, including 3 all-GLVC honorees, one being last year's GLVC Freshman of the Year, Anthony Crowell, along with Offensive Player of the Year sitting next to you, Gavin. Talk about those two as well as further outlook of the Greyhounds offense this year.
Well, you know, it starts with the quarterback, and he's standing, you know, he's sitting right next to me. He's a dynamic player. He's been here all summer, worked his tail off, and, you know, he just keeps getting better. You know, we've got our receiving core. You know, Alonzo Derrick was, I thought, the best player in the league until he went down against S&T. I mean, he's back, you know, no offense. But, you know, and then Anthony Crowell, and then we had, you know, Anthony Crowell had a good year, and he had a good spring. But, you know, we've got about 4 or 5 receivers really that we really like. So we're going to throw it around a little bit. You know, John Lewis, our tailback back, first team all conference. You know, very productive player, missed 1,000 yards, you know, by, I think, you know, like 30 yards. Ethan Hand, you know, he's been our starting tight end for the last 3 years. You know, he's back. So in our offensive line, you know, really we got 4 out of 5 back on the offensive line. So, you know, if we can stay healthy, we're going to be explosive. We should be able to run it and throw it, and it's going to be fun to watch. And I'm excited, like I said, about the offense.
Thank you, Coach. Gavin, you had a successful 2023 campaign. Coach talks about all the weapons that you have around you. What do you look to do as you move into into the upcoming season with the guys you have around you?
Really, we just looking to be more efficient and make the big plays when the big plays need to be made. Our 2 losses, I felt like we left a lot of plays out there to be made. And so that's just kind of been my focal point in this offseason.
Thank you. Coach, 7 starters returned on defense, including 3 all-GLVC honorees with Michael by your side, who has been named to the all-conference team the last 3 seasons. Give us your thoughts on expectations for him as well as the rest of your defense.
You know, I really feel like, you know, that Mike has a chance to be the defensive player of the year in the conference. You know, he's a physical tackler. He's able to, you know, he's very good against the pass, and, you know, people just start, you know, avoiding our boundary because he's there. You know, he's a great run support tackler, physical. So really like him. You know, I think our secondary, we got 3 out of 4 back. That, like I said, they've started multiple years. Cavante Houston and Jalen Gavon, you know, so really like our secondary. The linebackers, you know, 2 out of the 3. Clay Schulte's another guy that could be a defensive MVP of the league. He's a great player, productive, physical, and then you know, and then Sandflowers was the other returning linebacker, and then Colville will be our Mike linebacker. We've got some our linebacker core is good, and then like I said, Aaron Barnett is the defensive end who was all conference, a good player, and you know, he started this will be his 5th year. But after that, we got some question marks on the D-line. We got some really good players. We just got to see who's going to play.
Michael, we mentioned your previous distinctions, which last year was thanks to your 48 tackles and 2 interceptions. You're also entering your senior season as the obvious leader, one of the obvious leaders on the field. What are you hoping to accomplish this season for yourself and as the defensive core?
First, for the defense, I just want to accomplish more takeaways. I feel like us as a defense, we could have done that a lot more. We kind of just missed out on some opportunities just based off of focus and smaller things like that. For myself, I just want to have more interceptions, more tackles than last year. Overall, a better leader and the best player out there on the defensive side.
Thank you. Coach, share with us your thoughts on your special teams. Only one starter back for your unit this year. That's Marquez Gillum, your kick returner. And talk about a little bit who you'll be looking for in that area this year.
The long snapper's back. He started last year. He was an all-conference kid from Stetson that came back and started, so he's got one more year left. So he's back. We feel good about that. He's very talented, very consistent. Was a high school teammate of Clay Schulte's. And then we signed a transfer kicker, a Division III kid from Michigan that was an all-conference punter and kicker for them. So, and then we've got some couple guys that had decent springs that are going to compete, and so even though it's we haven't proven in our league, I don't dislike our kicking situation. I think we've got a chance to be really good. We've got some young players that are going to play some special teams for us that are and we're going to do Mike's got a chance. The Lions and the Colts came and ran him, and so we're going to play him on some special teams, give him a chance to to help him out with that. So we're going to play some of our better players on special teams this year, which is going to be a little different than in the past. We just feel like we got to make more of an impact. We didn't think we made much of an impact last year in special teams, and we have the ability to. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Thank you. As your team eyes yet another championship trophy, give us your thoughts on how you'll get there with the schedule you have in front of you.
Yeah, it is daunting. We've got the Hillsdale team that's always good, always well coached. We're going to go up there and play them at night. Then we get home against Truman right away, and that's an emotional game. And then then we go to Detroit and play Wayne State, GLIAC opponent. And then we got homecoming Saginaw, and then we start our league, sort of. We started at Truman. So it's, the league's gotten better. They're really, there were close games every year. Every game last year was close games. The league's gotten better. You see the improvement. McKendree got us last year. Anybody can beat you. We got to start out fast because it's those first 4 games are tough, but that's you got to play those. You got to play those teams in non-conference, and then do I love playing Truman in the second week? No, I'd rather play them at the end of the year. I think it's always a great game for both of us, exciting. But that's what it is, and that's what we're going to do. Play them second game at home, and we take one game at a time. We'll be jacked up. The kid, our players like to work and get ready for games, so that's not going to be a problem getting ready for those first 4 games.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on the GLVC Sports Network, and best of luck to you in your program this year.